Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our next episode. I believe this is number 20, which is pretty exciting. So we have a weird season. So we won 102 games. We won 102 and 60, which is, to be honest, the lowest win total we've had in about 4 seasons. But weird season overall for pretty much everybody. There was a lot of injuries, a lot of in and outs of the lineup. It was just weird overall. Let's move everybody here to the active roster so we can see everybody. First things first, while we're here, Juan Martinez tore his shoulder, his labrum. He's out for the entire postseason run. That's first things first while we're staring at him. Um, but yeah, let's take a look. Jeremiah Estrada. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the last episode. He is also out for the year with a torn UCL, so that's not great. But let's go through lineups. Actually, let's do where is it? Where is it? I want to find info page. Oops, sorry. Okay. So we were really good. One run games. This was really bad at All Star break. It evened out. We were really good against lefties and righties. So April 13 and 13, 11 and 15 in May. Then we picked it up in June. We went 16 and 11. Then we went on a real tear in July at 20 and 5. August was a little bit more mellow at 19 and 11, and then September another run 21 and 4. Um, the offense got really good really quick. The base running is bad. The strikeouts are low. Um, the pitching staff continued to be great. The defense picked it up. So overall, like this late season surge really kind of cemented this as a good season for us. That really helped. I mean, that's what happens when you get everybody back healthy, right? But stellar season from Kevin Gossman. He was really good for us in his 11 starts. He put up 2 WAR. He had one real clunker where he gave up like 12 earned and three and a third or something like that. Pitching stats, game log. Yeah, 3 innings, 12 earned. But then it was smooth sailing, one outing of 5 earned, and then just really good for the rest of the year. So that was a good deal for us. Luis Castillo, good season, put up 4 WAR in 153 innings. The peripherals weren't super crazy, but they didn't really need to be. The FIP was low, and that's good. Hunter Green, 3.3 WAR, good year for him. Edwin Diaz, electric year, 58 and 2/3 innings, 2.5 WAR. He had 40 saves on the year, a .92 ERA, and a .89 FIP. That was incredible. That was a stellar season for him in the bullpen. Similar deal for Jose Alvarado. Most of this was done in Philly, or Houston rather, which is good. But I mean, look at these numbers, man. Like he put up 1.3 WAR in 41 innings, and then in 24 innings he put up 1.1. Just really good pickup from him. Tyler Rogers continued his season of excellence. So these big three really carried this bullpen. Hunter Brown was positive, which is good. Doval was good. He really turned it around. He has a sore elbow for the next 2 weeks, so he might honestly get left off the postseason roster for our first series. Uh, I don't think I'm gonna put him on the injured list or just remove him from the playoff roster. Taj Bradley was positive when he came back up, 75 and 2/3 innings, .8 WAR, which is fine after the awful start he had. Um, Peripherals not super great. Strikeout percentage at just above 20. That's not incredible. The FIP was about where his ERA was, so he could be destined for bullpen, but we'll see. Shohei missed another month with, I forgot what it was, herniated disc in his back. So that wasn't great. So really, a lost season for him. He played in 36 games at the plate, 132 at bats, point .5 WAR, 116 OPS plus. That's pretty good if you're not Shohei, right? And then a 115 ERA plus in 44 and a third innings. So not great, but not awful either. It's just good that we have him healthy for the playoffs. That's what matters. Lane Henderson, 86 and a third innings, barely positive. The strikeout percentage was crazy high again. That's his calling card. The FIP was fine. Just a good middle reliever. He's due to make some big money now. 4.4. We're probably going to let him walk after the year, which is a shame because he's number 10 in our career saves leaders in Cincinnati, which is kind of funny. Nolan McLean came up for 5 2/3 total innings, no earned, 7 strikeouts. Good cameo. Our trade with Texas, Emiliano Teodo, minus .1 WAR, 4.82 ERA. We're not really looking for a whole lot from him. So that's everybody we can see right now. Who got skipped? Playoff roster. Edwin Arroyo is suspended, but I don't think that applies for playoffs. And even if it does, it's only 2 games. Oh, Chase Petty, good year for him. 2.55 ERA, 38 games, 1 start, 60 innings, .9 WAR. Good season for Petty. Mason Miller, good season for Miller, good-ish. Once he came over, definitely positive. Giovanni Moran, very good season, 2.4 WAR, 2.11 ERA. Why are you not on the playoff roster? That's weird. So we got to go fix this anyway. Kumar Rocker was, I guess, adequate. 10 2/3 innings, 2 starts. They were spot starts when we had a bunch of double headers lined up all in a row. Not great numbers at AAA either, but whatever. It's a flyer. Tony Santillan was in AAA for a little bit. Only 12 innings for us. Not a whole lot to talk about. Severino, I demoted just to get some other guys up. 1 WAR in 134 innings. We definitely got what we needed out of him overall, which I think is great. Definitely worthwhile deal. I think he wants too much on his next contract. Yeah, 24. No way. No way, Mr. Severino. Good luck getting that. Who else? Pitchers. This man, he pitched 6 1/3 innings for us. 1 start and 2 games. His start, he went like 5 2/3. Pitched fine. Um, so yeah, that's the pitching staff. As to the lineup, we had some weird things going on. Noelvi Marte put up 6.6 WAR, which I think was third in the league. He hit 32 bombs in 125 games. He will be getting MVP votes for sure. Really good season from Marte. Did he change his number too? No, he's always been 70. I love that. Ellie De La Cruz, great season. 136 OPS plus, 30 stolen bases, 26 bombs. So he was like 4 home runs away from another 30-30 season, which is good because he had a 40-40 season last year. So still a really good year for him overall. Jay Allen, pleasant surprise defensively. He 103 OPS plus and a 3.4 WAR, 31 steals. He played everywhere defensively. He played nothing at first, even though it shows an appearance. Plenty of second, 2 games at third, some left, a lot of center, and a lot of right. So good defender, very useful player. Joey Gallo was absolute like average for us, which is fine. We just needed a bat to be able to play. And so I still would probably make that trade. Siani put up 2 WAR, 83 WRC plus, so it is like not it's not last season, but it's pretty good, and it's not the season before. We take that. That's pretty good. The one thing, let's go back and look real quick. He did not have 30 stolen bases for the first time in his career. I think that's an interesting fact. And he's already up to 158, so that's pretty cool. Alan Cerda, good offensive season, 113 OPS plus, 19 bombs in 100 games. Really good as a part-time player. Very useful. Mr. Vogelback, this was a very pleasant surprise. He had 24 home runs, 15 doubles, got on base at a 374 clip, 469 slugging. Really, really good year for Vogelback. Very pleasant surprise, and I think it's good that he kind of kept in line with his major league average. I know I said he's not going to get a 188 OPS plus, but a 130, that's pretty good. Trevino, positive player. Really good glove, bad bat, but that's okay. We kind of thought that was going to happen. Um, 1.7 WAR, 86 OPS plus, 8 bombs, 20 doubles. We'll take it from our catcher. He played 93 games, which is good. Matt McLean really turned it around. He ended up thankfully being able to go positive. He hit 24 doubles still and 12 bombs, um, 19 stolen bases. So, overall, not an awful season. Um, he started really bad, but August was electric, like really, really nice. His July was good, great August, and a good September really helped it um, eliminate this really bad April, subpar May, and awful June. So good for him for kind of turning it around. Palmegiani is an interesting player. He has a 107 OPS plus, and I always feel like he can be better than what he ends up posting. And out of the 3 seasons we've had him, this is the most he's played and the worst he's played at the same time. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. He's interesting, and I always kind of expect more than what he actually gives us. So he lost playing time against righties, understandably so, but he's still useful. Who's next? Shohei, we already talked about. Cade also kind of sort of turned it around. Not the season that he had last year, but he also played more and was worse. He had a lot more exposure to left-handed hitters this year than he did last, and that's kind of where his negative value came from. Was a 56 OPS plus, minus .2 WAR, and 64 at bats against lefties versus really pretty good against righties, to be honest. And his September was what saved his season. A 995 OPS, a 165 OPS plus. So if we can get that Cade going into playoffs, then I think we're set. Max Muncy, Drew Bowser. Max Muncy had a good showing, good intro. Um, Drew Bowser had a bad season, but he kind of got pressed into service. Where really he's like a 30th man on your roster, not like the 18th he was for us this year. And then if we go here, what about bats? Edwin Arroyo, really, really good season. 5.3 WAR, 120 OPS plus, 18 bombs, 13 stolen bases, 24 doubles in 117 games. So, his glove really carries his value. But this is a really, really, really valuable glove. Um, and he put up, you know, better defensive numbers, I would say, and worse offensive numbers. So, um, you know, we've been emphasizing being really good up the middle, and that 16.4 zone rating is probably going to win him a Gold Glove this year. Um, what other bats did we miss? Luis Verdugo was hurt most of the year. I traded with LA for him. He didn't play for us. He didn't even play in the major leagues this year. He was positive. 109 OPS plus in 100 games started, 102 games played. Collier was good enough when we needed him to, which was really pleasantly surprising that he was positive for the for that about a month that I needed him to play, where we had no bodies. So that was great. Grateful to him, and his AAA season was good. So he's probably looking at a bigger role next year. And Miguel Perez was disappointing at AAA. He was really good at AA and then disappointing at AAA for this season. So, it's an interesting bat, but, if we end up having a roster squeeze, he could be gone easily. So I think that's the run through. For the playoff roster, Bradley's going to be fine. Doval's probably comes off. Can I do this to get rid of? Yeah, okay. So Duvall comes off because he's hurt. Arroyo has to go on. And then Muncy comes off for sure. Petty goes on. Who am I missing? Miller, Moran. I would love to have Moran here. Bowser, I guess, comes off. See, that's my issue, is I feel like my right-handed bench is not great. Severino's a good reliever if I need him to be. But I don't see anybody. Oh, Teodo, you come off. You come off the playoff roster, and then I think Severino goes to the bullpen, and I think that's pretty much it. Um, we go to a four-man rotation whenever we go next. And then I think we're gonna line up Shohei Gosman, maybe Green Castillo, and then the bullpen. You know, I'm tempted to just do whatever Joey Votto wants, but I think that's probably a bad idea. So we're gonna go stopper, stopper, stopper here. These were my best three relievers. Nolan McLean making it is probably not something I want to do. Just not enough exposure, which means I can add one more reliever. Maybe Duvall's ready. Let's just slot him in. Let's see what happens. Um, so 14 reliever or pitchers is fine. So stopper is good. Lane can probably close if necessary, if there's a save situation. Giovanni Moran is a specialist versus lefties, and then secondary as middle relief. Doval is probably a specialist versus righties with a secondary of middle relief. And then here are my starters, which are really like relievers. Hunter Brown, Taj Bradley. So we set position to reliever, set position to reliever, and now we see what we got. Chase Petty was really good. Maybe maybe Lane is like the middle relief. Normal usage, secondary setup, I guess. Chase Petty, closer. 8 plus, high leverage. Taj Bradley and Severino and Brown. Brown is probably my setup man. Seventh or later, and then secondary is middle relief. And then what does the rest of the pitching staff look like? That's one middle reliever, which is fine in Lane. Three stoppers, which I want pitching more. Hunter Brown in setup, which I think is fine. And then I think we go these guys as middle relief. And then maybe setup here. Seventh or later, secondary, specialist, middle relief, secondary, long relief, I guess. And so that way we're set. This way we're set with the pitching staff for really any situation. I have my three best relievers as stoppers. I have Chase Petty to close if necessary with a secondary role in high leverage, maybe eighth or later. That's probably fine. Secondary closer in Rogers, and then I think that's good. Maybe secondary as a closer for Hunter Brown. So now we really load up on the back end, which is good. And then middle relief is Lane and Taj, and I think that's good. And then, yeah, we talked about starters. Never mind. As for this, let's clear everything out. Let's clear off everything, and let's figure it out. So versus righties, right? I like having Cade catch. I like the platoon splits here. First base, I think, has to be Vogelback after the season he had. Second base for Marte. Easy answer. Third base, Ellie. Shortstop, Arroyo. And what we're going to do is we're going to back up shortstop with Marte, and we're going to back up second with McLean. So that way, if he's suspended for those first two games of the playoffs, then Marte can play short and McLean can play second. Then McLean starts in left. Center field, Ciani. And then right field, Gallo. And DH, Shohei. I think that's good. It's a little lefty heavy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's okay. And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to view the stats versus righties. And who is my highest on-base guy versus righties? Noelvi, Vogelback, Jay Allen, interestingly enough. And then Shohei Ciani. Ciani with a high on base. So I think actually hiding him in the leadoff spot might be a good idea. Because then we can go Marte, Vogelback, Shohei. And then Do I really want to go like Ellie 5, Arroyo 6? Actually, I think that's good. I think that's good. Ellie 5, Arroyo 6. Um, and then we go like Gallo. Let's do this again. Let's do that. Then we go like Gallo, McLean, Cade. I think that's good. Actually, I like that a lot. It looks interesting. Huh. Do I really like Siani leading off is the question. Would I rather have Gallo lead off? I think is a fair question. Or do I want like Jay Allen to play right and Gallo come off the bench? No, I think this is good. And then who backs up in left if necessary? I think it's Jay. I think that works. So that way, if there's no Arroyo, Marte plays short, McLean plays second, and Jay Allen plays left. I think that works. I guess Trevino, and that's pretty much all of the backups that we're gonna need. Defensive sub Palmegiani, and he's probably our first pinch hitter. And then Serta and Allen. And I don't really want Trevino pinch hitting just in case, because I'm only carrying 2 catchers. Jay Allen can be our pinch runner as well, with Palmegiani doing the second of that. Do I want another bench bat is the question, but who do I have down there that I could? Figueroa. I don't think he's on the 40-man anymore. Oh, everybody's up in the major league team. Like, is it worth it for me to have Drew Bowser or Muncy on the roster? Is that worth it? I think not for Bowser. But Muncy, it might be worth it to carry him. He was positive. He's versatile defensively. He can pinch run. You can draw a walk and hit a bomb. Kind of 3 true outcome E. But which pitcher do I drop? I think I'd rather have the bullpen ready than another bench bat. So I think versus righties, this is our lineup. I'm still unsure whether I want to lead Siani off, but versus righties, he's got the highest on-base percentage. Well, one of them. What if I do this instead? What if we just do like Vogel back here, switch like Ellie, move that. I think this makes more sense. I think that's better. Okay. Defensive subs. Jay Allen can sub at left, right? Yeah, he's my defensive ace. And right, which means McLean theoretically could move to second. He's pretty good at second. McLean could be subbed out. I don't feel like I need to. Hasn't been good enough this year. Okay. So I think that's it. I think I like this lineup. Versus lefties is different. Noelvi Ellie, Vogelback somehow in 31 plate appearances was really good against lefties, but I don't trust it. So we're not going to do that. Alan Serta was a lefty masher. He had a 161 WRC plus against them, so he's got to play. So here's what we do. Trevino catches. Would I rather? We're going to skip the first base question for now. We're going to skip that. We're going to go Marte. We're going to go Ellie. We're going to go Arroyo. Serta in left. Jay Allen in center. Shoot. He was good against, overall against lefties. Much better than I would have expected. Okay. I think we go Palmegiani at first. I think that's what we do. I think we go Serta in right. and then McLean in left. I think that's what we do, and Shohei DH. I think that's the play. Yes, Vogelback was good, and Gallo were good against lefties. Um, but 31 plate appearances doesn't really seem like enough for me to warrant believing in. The BABIP is fine. It's a 308, but that's high for like a low contact of low avoid Ks player. So, okay. I think this is the lineup. The versus the lefties is not one I'm super confident about. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to back up McLean here if necessary. Marte at short. And then here, maybe we go Gallo in left. If that happens. Or like Gallo. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Defensive subs here. Ciani subbing in left, center, and right. Well, left and right. You have right experience? Center. Oh, no, left experience. So I think Gallo is the defensive sub in left. I think he's a good glove. 65. What's McLean? 60. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Pinch hitters. Vogie is 1. Gallo is 2. Cade can pinch hit here. And Ciani is a pinch runner. And what we're going to do for Palmegiani is we're going to go to strategy. No, I'm not. Don't want to do that. We're going to do some pinch hit and platooning. Same thing we did with Vogelback. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I think this is a good lineup. Or starters, rather. So for the lineup, Ellie hits second. Marte hits third. Serta cleans up. Arroyo leads off, I think. Hitting fifth. No, maybe Arroyo. Okay. What about on base percentage? Marte, De La Cruz, Serta. No, because Serta is just like mashing everything. So I want him in like a power spot. I don't really know if I believe in that, but power-ish spot. I think Palmegiani can hit there. Shohei should hit higher, right? And Trevino just drops. So I think that's the lineup. I think that's good. You know, could I switch Serta and Shohei? Sure. Could I switch Arroyo and like Shohei and have him lead off? Actually, I think I like that better. I think I like that a little bit better. It puts Arroyo in a little bit of a better spot. And it kind of protects Shohei because do you really want to pitch to Shohei, Ellie De La Cruz, or Marte if you're a lefty? You want to pitch to Shohei. So I think that's it. I think that's it. Let's simulate. I think that's the playoff roster unless like something happens or but yeah, okay. So anyway, league news. Let's go through our standings. We had a really good year. St. Louis won a wild card. We had the best run differential in baseball at plus 232. The next best was the Mets at 171 and the Mariners at 189. The Mariners with a really good year. How? Matt Brash. What does your deal look like? It's too much. Good pitching staff, it looks like. Yeah, great pitching staff. Decent offense. Yeah, J-Rod had a good year. James Parker, don't know who that is. Shortstop, apparently. Oh, he's DHing. And I forgot they got Xander Bogaerts to play short. I forgot what the trade was. In exchange for Penn Murphy, a nobody, and Jonathan Clase, a good prospect. So I guess that's a win if you're San Diego. And, you know, you had a good year. You got a good year out of Bogaerts. I guess that's a win, too. Good couple years, actually. The bats trailed off, but the glove is still pretty decent. And how much did they wait? Is this a good deal? How much did they retain? 35%? Eh, seems like a lot. Okay. George Kirby, good. Brash is good. Ethan Small's good. So I think it's probably just their bullpen. Ooh, this dude. Jeez. That's a lot of blue. 50 saves, 1.86 ERA. I think I mentioned this in a few episodes ago, but I'm not a big traditional stat guy. Don't really care about wins and losses. Don't, if I had to pick between FIP and ERA, I prefer FIP. Um, I know those are contradictory statements to some people, and that's totally okay. But the one big stat that I do love is saves. I think that's fun. Saves are fun. Okay, so what about the rest of the playoff tree? Okay, so the Twins and the Blue Jays, the Guardians and the Tigers. So three teams from the Central made the playoffs, the AL Central. The Mariners and Tampa Bay with buys. And then in the National League, the Cardinals and the Braves, the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Um, so that's some NL West bracket right here, which is cool. The Mets with the bye and us, of course. So let's play through the next playoff round. Let's see what happens. Yeah, see, Marte second in WAR in the league, first in OPS, which is really fun. Vladdy Jr. with 54 bombs led the entire league. Pete with 44. That's those are all fun stats. J Rod with a 10.9 WAR season. That's an MVP year. Good for you. Twins and Guardians up 1-0. How about in the National League? What's next? Don't crash on me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Braves and Giants. Oh, going to 3. How about here? Oh, going to 3 for everybody. So the Tigers beat the Guardians and the Twins beat the Blue Jays. And how about in the National League? It's gonna cut out before we can do that. Before we see. Oh, okay. So the Giants beat the Diamondbacks and the Braves beat the Cardinals. So we get to play the Braves, who were a 95 win team. I would have much rather preferred to play the Cardinals. Yeah, good team. Very good team. The pitching staff was not as good, and the offense was spectacular. What about these kind of stats? On the road, 518 winning percentage. That's good. They were worse than their Pythagorean record. Good in extra innings, great in one-run games. Just a really solid team. They had a bad July, but that's okay, and a bad September. Okay. So what does this look like? Michael Harris was really good. Ronald Acuna was good. Vaughn Grissom, Austin Riley. Yeah, this is a dangerous, dangerous lineup. Still, I think that's very fun. Really Yeah, no, okay. Um, that's cool. Well, he has two U's in his name. Good defender. Okay. What about the pitching staff? What about a little bit less? Eric Jokic. I think he had a position in the KBO for a while. Yeah, he had to. Yeah, there we go. Because every season, I think he pops. Um, so yeah, okay, that's pretty much it. We'll check back through the playoffs, and we're gonna run through the playoffs when we get back in the next episode, is what I meant to say. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.